Alright, here we are talking about coterminal angles, and this is actually exactly what we did in the previous example. The only thing is that you're stating all of the different coterminal angles. So coterminal angle is when you have two different angles with the same terminal side. Co-terminal. Co together, terminal ending, together ending. So these angles with the same ending are called coterminal. So how do we answer a question that is asking for coterminal angles? Well, that goes back to how did we find those coterminal angles in the first place? If we have a particular angle, for instance, let's look at this diagram right over here, this angle could definitely be 60 degrees. However, it could also be negative 300 degrees. So those are coterminal. Or it can go all the way around the circle and then go a little bit further for 420 degrees. So in this case, 60 degrees, 420 degrees, and negative 300 degrees are all coterminal angles. Now, how do you find these angles? Well, what is the difference between 60 and 420? Well, that's just going to be the 60 plus 360 degrees. It's one more full rotation around the circle. So to find any coterminal lines, you just add or subtract 360 degrees. That is it. That is the extent of this. We don't have to draw them out. We don't have to even think about it. We just have to add 360 degrees or subtract 360 degrees to find out the coterminal angles. So let's give that a shot down here in example 3. 130 degrees. Now we want a positive coterminal angle and we want a negative coterminal angle. So let's take 130 and let's find a positive one. Let's just add 360 degrees to 130. So let's do that. Let's take 130 and add 360. I'm going to pull up Desmos, not that I really need to pull up Desmos, but it is going to help. So that's going to be 130 plus 360 degrees. Now, if you wait to the end of the video, I'm going to show you a way that is kind of a cheating method. You can actually just type in your angle and then find 5 coterminal angles on either side, but you have to wait to the end of the video for that. 130 plus 360, that's going to be 490. Now, while we're here, if we take 130 and this time subtract 360 degrees, we're going to get negative 230. And there we have it. We have our positive and we have our negative. Now, just to put on a layer on this, if we subtract this twice, what happens if we take negative 230 minus another 360? Negative 590 is also a coterminal angle. As you can see, we can do this to infinity. There are an unlimited amount of coterminal angles. It just depends on which ones that you want to state. Let's just state these two here, 490, negative 230, and we're going to write them down. 490 and negative 230. So let's do that same thing with negative 200 degrees. We're going to go to Desmos, clear all of that out. We get negative 200 and we're going to add 360 degrees. We get 160 degrees. Now we're going to do the same thing in the opposite direction, which is negative 200 minus 360 degrees, and we get negative 560. So we'll write those down on our worksheet. 160 is the first one. Negative 560 is the other one. And we have our two coterminal angles. We have a positive one, and we also have a negative one. So let's try out our guided practice. And here's the time that you pause the video and try it out for yourself. And I know that you will because you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for pausing the video and trying this out yourself. This is really not too difficult. But here's what I promised you. If you see here, I have set a equal to something, and this is something that we're going to fill in. Above, I say a plus 360, and then I say a plus 360 twice. So that means that we're going to get two coterminal angles here, and then same thing down here, but subtracting 360 degrees. So if we type in our angle of 15 degrees, then it's automatically going to give us the two coterminal angles above it and the two below it. So I'm just going to use 375 and negative 345. 375 and negative 345 degrees. Make sure that you put that degree mark there. Now we're going to do the same thing with negative 45 degrees. I'm just going to type this in. Negative 45 degrees, and we get 315 and negative 405. So that would be 315 and negative 405. Both are degrees, and those are our positive and negative coterminal angles.